Happy Friday to everybody. I think it's Friday anyway. Is it Friday? I never know what day it is. Got my Starbucks. I just do like a black cold brew. I don't put anything in it. Because I drink coffee all through the day. I was just doing a video about... Oh, let me turn the light on. It's a little dark. There we go. I was just doing a video about ways to heal quicker from narcissistic abuse. And the first step is to really just see it for what it is. And that takes a long time for some people to understand that you were involved with a person who was actively manipulating you from day one. It's not your fault that you didn't see it. It's just the luck of the draw. You know, sometimes these narcissists come into our lives and they trick us, and we get tricked because we don't know that we're supposed to be looking for somebody to trick us. So how could we know what to look for if we don't know that we're looking for something? You know what I mean? And so they get a head start in the race because they know that they're manipulating you from day one. You do not know this. By the time you figure it out, a lot of damage has been done. That damage being you've disclosed personal information, you've told them your childhood traumas, they've been studying you, they know exactly what to say to play into your empathy, an empathy that they know that you have that they lack. I mean, this is like typical scam artist, love, romance scam kind of situation. And so a lot of people get down on themselves. Why didn't I see it sooner? Well, because you went in giving the person the benefit of the doubt, being open and honest, expecting the same. Does your narcissist try to return after you ignore them and go no contact? Yeah, absolutely. A narcissist will almost always hoover you. A hoover is when you've broken up. Either you were forced to break up with them because their behavior was awful, or they break up with you, they ghost you, they cheat on you, they stonewall you, they leave you, whatever it is. And then they put out the feelers. They put out those little feelers to see if you are still available. So, you know, they'll pocket dial you by accident. They will tell you Merry Christmas, or they'll put a little, you know, fire emoji on your Instagram, slide into your DMs, give you a phone call, drive by your house, tell you they were thinking about you, whatever it is. And it seems innocent to say Merry Christmas back. It's like, there's no need to have any ill will. Maybe I could be friends with this person. This person is not your friend. This person is trying to hoover you, is actively trying to manipulate you. Because the minute you say Merry Christmas back, it's on. They know that you are still susceptible to answering them. You don't hate them and loathe them so much that you're completely ignoring them, and the hoover will pick up and it will gradually get bigger and bigger until they're telling you they changed, they got into therapy, they're a different person now. All of this is lies. It's all lies. It's all to suck you back into this toxic cycle. Well, now you're in the love bombing phase. Then you'll be in the devaluing phase. Then you'll be in the discard phase. Then hoover, then love bomb, devalue, discard, hoover. And some people go through this cycle dozens of times with the same person, right? That's why it takes an average of 7 to 10 times to get away from an abuser, because you can see that they're very manipulative. They tell you exactly what they want you to hear and what you want to hear. You know, oh, I finally saw the error of my ways. I finally see what you were saying. I was taking you for granted. I want you back, blah, 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 blah. The question you have to ask yourself, do the words match up with the actions? If they're telling you, you're the love of my life, I want you back, but they're not taking you on a date and expecting you to be at their house at midnight on a Wednesday and that's the only time you can see them, actions don't line up with the words, right? Let me read some of these comments here. She tried hoovering me for 2 months, but I ignored her. Will she leave after I reject the hoover? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I have seen people get hoovered after 2 years of no contact. It has nothing to do with you. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that in a sense of like, she probably blew up one of her relationships with the supply and she's looking to jump ship, and she thinks you would be an easy ship to jump to because you've already had a go around, so why not try again? So it's hard to say if this will be the only time, but it could be multiple times. Really appreciate your 3-minute video format. Thank you. Sending a friendly hello on my coffee break. Oh, love for the Canadian fam. I love the Canadians. I have a lot of Canadian clients. I do offer one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching. It's remote, and it's for you if you're trying to break a trauma bond, come up with a divorce escape plan, child custody, co-parenting plan. If you're trying to figure out what's going on in your very toxic relationship, email me. My email's at the bottom of all of my YouTube videos, and it's also in my bio. It's just my name. It's just danielle.radin@gmail.com. Very important to realize you were victimized, but don't be a victim. Victim mentality will hurt you more and will be your narrative. Work on yourself, see why they could get under your skin and move on. That is very true. A lot of people, they don't want to think of themselves as the victims of narcissistic abuse, but you have to see it for what it is. This is a person who was at best psychologically abusing you only, which is very damaging, and at worst was also verbally abusing you physically, sexually, financially, spiritually, emotionally, all of that. All the kinds of abuse. So understand that you went through an abusive relationship. That's the reality of the situation. If I need a friend, I'll get a dog. It's not a bad idea. Just make sure to adopt the dog. Adopt the dog from a shelter. Do these things apply to sociopaths too? Absolutely, absolutely. Within the umbrella of narcissism, there's sociopaths and there are psychopaths. All psychopaths are narcissists, but not all narcissists are psychopaths. And a lot of these disorders present in a very similar way, the bottom line being that they're trying to manipulate you in order to get power and control over you, okay? They have different motivations than you and me. Should I remove the narc and flying monkeys from my social media? Absolutely. Absolutely. Block them. Go no contact. You don't want those flying monkeys harassing you. I have a sociopath boyfriend of 8 years and has been reduced literally to living on almost nothing. His grandmother is a covert, and I gotta say, I have never seen anything like this. It's shocking when you see it. You don't even recognize it because it's so foreign. It's so foreign. It's shocking. It's surprising. It's horrible. And all I can say is, if you feel like your boyfriend is a sociopath, you should get away from him. You should go no contact and get away from him. These people are completely unpredictable. They can get violent. You don't want to stick around to see where rock bottom is, because there is no rock bottom with these people. My screen is foggy. That did not help. Okay, whatever. Oh, glad to hear that, Tony. That's awesome. I feel stuck in the rage of my psychopathic narc ex, and we were divorced in 2017. I want to dump him in an active volcano. I feel like he won. How do I get unstuck? This person, if he's a psychopath, did not win anything. This person likes to hurt others for sport because they are an empty shell of a person. They feel a perpetual boredom that cannot be filled no matter what they do. And if he's really a psychopath, then his brain is literally broken. They don't know if it's the amygdala not functioning or the frontal cortex not properly working or a mixture of both. This person's brain is broken. Now, this is not something to be pitied. This is something to understand that you don't have to drop him in an active volcano. He gets his karma just being who he is. This is a miserable, spiteful, hateful individual who cannot feel happiness or fulfillment. That's what they have to live with. You think anybody wants to be a psychopath? That's like the worst thing that you can be in society, right? When somebody says psychopath, there's no redeeming qualities to a psychopath. Nobody wants to be a psychopath. You know, it's all a matter of perspective here. He is on his computer 24/7 and fully neglects everything. I don't understand. Well, you know what? Just break up with him and block him and go no contact. He's not giving you anything anyway, so what's the point? Just break up with him. What's the clear difference between a sociopath, a narcissist, and a psychopath? A narcissist is a broad spectrum personality disorder. A psychopath is born that way. A sociopath is made. This is the difference. A psychopath is born that way. A sociopath is made. Okay? Think about that. I'm divorcing my husband. Do I need to ask him for psychological compensation? Should I fight for it or just leave it? I'm afraid to get hurt again. So some of these questions are a little too broad for me to answer. I don't know what state you live in. I don't know what country you live in. I don't know what your divorce settlement is. I don't know if you have a prenup. I don't know what your situation is. This would be a good case to get some one-on-one remote narcissistic abuse counseling from me. So email me and we'll get that set up, okay? Some of these questions are just a bit too broad to answer here. I was led on by this person for months. She knew I liked her a lot, and then she discarded me to be in a new relationship and told me she never liked me. I'm scared to be in love now. What do I do? Well, you know, at some point, you have to understand that these people will lead you on. They just slip into your life and they're using you from day one. And yeah, they didn't care about you enough to treat you with basic human dignity, kindness, and respect, and you got discarded. That is painful. That's really painful. I can see why you would be scared to fall in love again. But with that said, there are a lot of really good, loyal, empathetic, straightforward people out there. You just have to weed past all these toxic narcissists until you find your person who treats you with dignity and respect at all times. So you can't be such a closed off clam that you throw away all these good people because you're scared. There is a certain risk that comes with dating. That risk being, I'm putting myself out there, I am in the dating pool, and I could get dumped. I could get screwed over. That's the risk that you take. Is it a risk worth taking? For a lot of people, yeah, because they do end up finding a healthy, stable relationship. So they say, you know, it makes it all worth it. It's just up to you. If you don't feel ready to date yet, then wait a while. Invest in yourself, invest in your hobbies and your friendships, and then when you feel less scared and when you feel a little bit more ready, then jump in again. Make them respect the possibility of your absence. I'm working on following through. After 10 years, finally, I broke up with him. This personality disorder is a freaking unresolvable identity. Yeah, you're right. It's not going to change. It's not going to get any better than what it is right now. Do not future fake yourself into thinking that this is going to get better. It's going to stay the same, or at worst, it's going to start to go downhill and get worse and degrade. Okay? And I promise you, you will never regret leaving an abusive person. I promise you that. I only have 10 minutes left until I have to see a client. So let's get through these questions. It becomes so easy to cut people out of your life to not even give them a foothold into it. You can't put a price on your freedom, right? You cannot put a price on your freedom, your peace of mind. When you go no contact with these people, it sucks. Trust me, it sucks at first when you're breaking that trauma bond. Once that's done and you're over that hill, it's awesome. It's great. You can go wherever you want, say whatever you want. You're not controlled. You're not constantly questioning your reality. You're not in a constant power move. It's great. I broke up with my covert narc girlfriend 7 months ago. No contact since. Your amazing videos helped me. You're both attending the same summer camp. Any advice? So this is a good instance to just gray rock. You want to treat her like she's, let's say, a waitress at a restaurant, somebody who works at the DMV, a cashier at the grocery store. You're just friendly. If you see her, hey, good to see you. And then walk away, leave, whatever you need to do, or you know, hey, summer camp's been fun. Okay, take care. Something quick, something friendly, something you would say to a cashier, and then get out of the conversation as quickly as possible. The best way to really get under a narcissist's skin is not if you just completely ignore them, because they will know that you still care. It's if you can present outwardly like you never even knew them to begin with, like you completely forgot about them. They cannot stand to be abandoned or to be forgotten about. Like, they would prefer that you act weird in front of them, because then they feel important, they feel relevant. If you treat them like you never even met them before this, that will drive them bonkers. They're really good folk, and you'll know who is okay and who to step away from quickly and easily. I'm wondering, my enabling parents won't evict my abusive, addicted, narcissistic older brother, 35 years old. They are very much in denial, and I've accepted that, but at what point should I report? Report what? I'm not quite sure what that question means. Report what? I want my narc husband to leave our house. I'm not leaving my adult children alone with him because he's a monster. Do you have any suggestions on how to get him to leave? Again, too broad. I don't know what state you live in. I don't know your eviction laws. I don't know what your marriage situation is. I don't know what your custody arrangement is. Email me. We'll do coaching, okay? I know a narc who told me he feels empty inside, knows he hurts and criticizes others, suffers from depression and anxiety, yet does zero to change. I no longer agree to his drama and trauma. I'm free. Exactly. That is the right mentality to have. A narcissist at some point will tell you exactly who they are. They will say, I'm empty. They will say, I hurt people on purpose. They'll tell you they're a narcissist. They'll admit to breaking the law and laugh about it. And that is horrifying. If that happens, if somebody admits to a morality that is way below yours, that you cannot get on board with, it is time to jump ship. You don't want to stick around with a person who has a lower morality than you. You want somebody who is on equal moral footing as you. And if somebody's telling you to your face that they think that they're a narcissist, or they think that they're empty and they criticize others on purpose and all of that, just run. Just run from that person. Nobody is worth sacrificing your authenticity for. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Wow, all shelters and abuse shelters are full in 3 states around me with waiting lists. Gotta have a plan as help is not coming. Oh, that's awful. I'm not surprised. I mean, there's a lot of abusive people out there. What comes to your mind when you think about the narcissistic grin? Oh, we've all seen this before, huh? The narcissistic grin, how creepy is it? It's when they know that they hurt you and they can't help but like have this stupid grin on their face, like they're enjoying it. Like when they publicly humiliate you or when they just say some kind of degrading, awful comment. You guys know what I'm talking about. They have like this grin, like they're loving your pain. So creepy. My ex is a narcissist. He's using the law to abuse me now, and there seems to be nothing anyone can do about it who's able to. My DV advocate said they try to educate the cops, but they won't hear it. Yeah, I mean, you know, it depends on the area you live in, but unfortunately, some law enforcement is just not trained in this kind of trauma. Alrighty, well, I have got to start my new counseling session. If you would like remote narcissistic abuse recovery counseling, you can email me. It's just my name, Danielle.Radin@gmail.com, and we will get something started. It's filled up for now, but there are a few slots left for next week, very minimal slots. Shoot me an email, and we will start a path of healing. So thank you for joining, and I will talk to you later.